Officials in the Utah city where Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie had an explosive domestic dispute have been accused of illegally collecting nearly $3,000 in fees for the distressing police bodycam footage of the incident. Credit, Moab City Police Department. Thousands in fees. The August 12 recordings showed the 22-year-old Gabby holding her neck and explaining to both Moab and park officers that her fiance Brian had scratched and grabbed her, causing the bruises, nearly a month before the woman was reported missing and later found dead. The thousands of dollars in fees charged by Moab police the dissemination of the footage, which grabbed national spotlight, cost 3 times more than what the department had expected to take in for the entire fiscal year of fee revenues, the Salt Lake Tribune reported, citing a city budget document. Moab Police Department charged 30 entities, mostly news organizations, $98 to provide the footage, totaling $2,940, according to a document the Tribune obtained through an open records request. The law enforcement agency has since agreed to refund the fees, which may have violated Utah law. Government agencies in the state may charge a reasonable fee to cover the governmental entity's actual cost of providing a record, according to the Government Records Access and Management Act. Going to be made right. City spokeswoman Lisa Church acknowledged the police department collected the fees. Even if one person were charged a fee, she explained, once that document is created, everybody else should not have been charged. Church pointed out that it's been a common practice in Moab to fulfill records requests from media organizations free of charge. She also noted that the same department had released a second video from the same stop days later without charging any organization. It's going to be made right, she assured. The August 12 video in question shows police officers from the Moab Police Department breaking up a domestic dispute between Gabby and Brian that had turned physical. Officer Eric Pratt wrote in a report that the two had engaged in some sort of altercation before police broke Gabby and Brian up. Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him. I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you, one officer is heard on camera asking Gabby. I guess, yeah, but I hit him first, Gabby replied. He grabbed my face, like I guess. He didn't hit me in the face. He didn't punch me in the face. Well, he grabbed me, with his nail, and I guess that's why it hurts. I definitely have a cut. I can feel it, she continued, showing her arm and neck with bruises and scratches. Brian told the officers he didn't have time to engage in self-defense, and instead I pushed her away. She gets really worked up, and when she does she swings, and she had her cell phone in her hand. So I was just trying to push her away, Brian added. Pratt then wrote that both the male and female reported they are in love and engaged to be married and desperately didn't wish to see anyone charged with a crime. After evaluating the totality of the circumstances, I do not believe the situation escalated to the level of a domestic assault as much as that of a mental health crisis, wrote Officer Daniel Robbins in the report. The report stated that the couple heeded the officer's advice to separate, saying each had their cell phone to call 911, and described Petito as confused and emotional. No charges were filed. Gabby's murder, Brian's death. Cops found Gabby's van in Northport during the weekend of September 11, when Gabby's parents reported her disappearance. Authorities seized the van from the Brian's home on September 14. He disappeared from his parents' home after telling them he was going to hike in the 24,000-acre Carlton Reserve, an alligator and insect-infested swampland in Sarasota County. Chris and Roberta Laundrie reported their son missing on September 17. Initially, they reported Head left on September 14, but they amended their story and said he actually left for the hike on September 13. On September 19, Gabby's body was found on September 19 near Grand Teton National Park. She was formally identified on September 21. The manner of her death was ruled a homicide, but the autopsy report has revealed information on her cause of death. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue confirmed that Gabby Petito died by strangulation during a press conference on Tuesday afternoon. He added that Gabby's predicted death was 3 to 4 weeks before her body was found. The body was outside, in the wilderness for this time. In an eerie twist, on October 21st, 1 month later, human remains were discovered near a dry bag and notebook that belonged to Brian in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. FBI officials announced that the skeletal remains were Brian's. The cause of his death is still being investigated. The grisly discovery ended a 5-week manhunt. Brian was never named a suspect in Gabby's murder. However, he was a person of interest in her missing case and was a wanted fugitive until he died. A federal warrant out was filed seeking his arrest on bank fraud allegations after allegedly racking up $1,000 in charges on Gabby's debit card. Gabby Petito timeline. Gabby Petito, 22, was last seen on August 24th, leaving a hotel in Utah. Here is a timeline of Gabby Petito's disappearance. June 2021, Gabby Petito and her fiance Brian Laundrie set off on a cross-country trip across the U.S. July 4th, Gabby posts photos of herself barefoot in Gove County, Kansas. July 8th, Gabby posts photos of herself at the Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. July 18th, Gabby and Brian post photos of themselves at Utah's Zion National Park. August 12th, body camera footage was released in September showing an encounter Brian and Gabby had with police in Utah. Police confirmed that no significant injuries were reported. August 19th, Gabby and Brian post a video on their YouTube channel chronicling their trip. August 24th, Gabby is spotted leaving a hotel in Salt Lake City, Utah. August 25th, Gabby FaceTimes her mom, Nicole Schmidt, for the final time. In a later police report, Schmidt said her conversations with her daughter revealed more and more tension between her and Brian. August 25th, Gabby also posts her last Instagram. No location is given. August 27th, Gabby is seen for what's believed to be the final time. Witnesses claim they saw Brian in an explosive argument with staff at a restaurant in Jackson Hole, leaving Gabby in tears. August 27th, 4 hours later, travel bloggers driving through Grand Teton National Park drive past the couple's van abandoned on a dirt road. September 1st, Brian returns home to Florida without Gabby. September 11th, Gabby's parents report her missing to Suffolk County Police. September 14th, Brian's family issues a statement saying he has retained an attorney and will not be cooperating with investigators. September 14th, Brian is allegedly last seen by his family. He reportedly told them he was going hiking in Cartlon Reserve but failed to return. September 15th, Florida's Northport Police announced Brian is a person of interest in the case. He is not charged with any crime. September 16th, Utah police released body camera footage of the police encounter with Brian and Gabby. September 17th, Brian's parents say they have not seen their son in a couple of days and report him missing. September 18th, police announced they were searching Carlton Reserve in Florida for Brian. Police announce they have not found anything. September 19th, authorities in Wyoming say they found a body in Grand Teton National Park. The FBI announces the body was believed to be Gabby's, but a full forensic identification needs to be completed first to confirm. September 20th, police execute a search warrant on Laundrie's home, seizing his silver Mustang and a hard drive that may contain evidence relevant to proving that a felony has been committed. September 21st, officials announced they will be conducting an autopsy on the remains found in Wyoming to confirm whether or not they belong to Gabby. Police also resumed their search for Laundrie, this time on the Venice side of Carlton Reserve. September 21st, the FBI announced the body found in Wyoming was identified as Gabby's. The cause of death was not yet revealed. September 21st, the Teton County Coroner's Office said Gabby's official cause of death was still pending, but the initial manner of death is homicide. September 22nd, police continue to scour Carlton Reserve for a trace of Laundrie, but yield no leads. A specialist dive team is called in to assist with the hunt. September 23rd, officials announced a federal arrest warrant for Brian was issued. September 26th, Gabby's funeral was held on Long Island, New York. October 12, Gabby's autopsy results were made public. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue confirmed Gabby died by strangulation. October 20, Laundrie's personal items are found at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. A medical examiner was called to the scene. October 21, the FBI confirmed the remains found have been identified as Laundrie's. We pay for your stories. Do you have a story for the US Sun team?